Hey everybody, it's Dior here. We're gonna be reacting to how Portals changed everything. There's nothing in here.
Hey guys, I'm Ian Prue. I'm CEO and co-founder of 1047 Games.
I freaking love
I'm
this
also
dude.
creative director of Splitgate and now Splitgate 2.
And I'm Nicholas Bagamian, co-founder and CTO
I
of
also love this dude
1047.
too.
I do a lot of the tech stuff,
First
a
time
lot of the
seeing him. I
engineering,
still love him.
you know, just make the game happen.
Basically, I'm the guy who has the crazy ideas and he's the guy who actually makes them happen. So we make a good team.
Yeah.
Hey, okay. Dev Diary. How
So
Portals
Splitgate
changed
1
everything.
actually started off as an idea I had in high school. I played Portal 2, absolutely loved it, fell in love with that mechanic, being the kind of Halo Call of Duty kid that I was. I thought to myself, man, this game would be even more fun if it had guns in it. Went to Stanford, studied computer science, and for my senior project, I wanted to kind of put this idea that I had to the test, and so I built a prototype in Unreal Engine of a shooter with portals. Very simple idea, very basic. It had, I think, one
That
gun,
looks
one map,
very
very
basic.
janky
Wow.
controls at the time. So I got about 7 of my friends who had gaming PCs to come over, and I asked them, just play for 45 minutes with me. I gotta make sure this thing works. We ended up playing for about 5 hours straight
Yo,
that
that
day.
looks
And that was
so
really
bad.
kind of that aha moment for
But it
me
looks
of
good at
like,
the same
I know
time.
I'm onto something. Nick and
Because,
I had
like, you
met
know,
in
the
our
idea.
dorm room, 1047. We actually named the company after the dorm where we started this at Stanford. But it was the following year where I decided, all right, I gotta actually do this thing, and convinced my friend Nick, smartest person I've ever met, to go on this crazy journey. And it took me a little bit of convincing, but eventually got Nick to make this game and see where it
I
goes.
really
Yeah,
want
and
to buy
we're
the
thinking
1047
we'll just
merch.
work on it for 6 months, we'll release the
When I
game,
get
and
my
then we'll
money.
move on with our lives.
That's funny,
And we were
yeah.
just completely wrong with the scope of making games at all. As we were developing, there was new things that we needed to make. We had to support multiplayer, matchmaking, all this stuff. Just piled on top of each other, and then ended
Yo,
up
I
being 5
actually
years until
remember
we
this.
released our final product.
Like, not the actual, you know, me playing it. I never played it ever. But I remember them saying that on an interview.
We
a
spent
long
2
time
years
ago.
between 2019 and 2021 just constantly iterating and trying to improve the game. And I think listening to the community is a big part of the reason we were able to have that breakthrough success. I think one of the first things we learned was just the importance of having a good matchmaking experience and onboarding. What we saw was players would come in, they'd typically lose their first game and have no clue what's going on, and then they'd quit. And that was pretty interesting to
Yeah.
us because we knew, okay, we have this fun game, but how come people aren't sticking around?
And then our console
I didn't
launch, we
quit, by
learned
the
that
way.
we didn't have the server capacity to maintain, and then just a ton of features that we wanted to do that we just didn't have time to do because we didn't plan early on. The scope of the project and the scope of our company kind of increased, and we were trying to retrofit graphics and trying to keep up with the update cadence. And we just kind of looked at that and we're like, yeah, there's no way we can do that with our existing code base, our existing content.
So we made kind of the difficult decision of, hey, let's take a step back, let's build this the right way, let's refactor everything, let's upgrade to Unreal Engine 5, and let's
That's a
really
smart
think through
idea.
this thoughtfully and get it right. So Splitgate 2
Very smart
is
idea.
really a successor to Splitgate 1. So when we started off building it, we started with what are the things that make Splitgate unique and special, and what are the things that we want to improve on? It's gunplay,
Yeah.
it's portals, it's movement. And so with
The
Splitgate
clean.
2,
This looks
we're
so
taking those
clean. I
three
wanna play
things
it
to
on
the
my
next
PlayStation
level.
5 right
A
now.
big goal of ours in Splitgate 2 was
This is
we
so
wanted to
good.
have more meaningful variety with a purpose. One of the first things you'll notice is there's 3 classes or
Meridian,
factions, each of which
Samurais.
has different weapons, different attachments for those weapons, different perks, different equipments, really leaning into that meaningful variety and a purpose so that you can play the way you want to play. We wanted 90% of what determines a gunfight winner to be who has the better aim, who has the better movement, who has the better portal mechanics. That extra 10% is where the equipment and the abilities come in, but really that's the icing on the cake. Splitgate 2 still feels pretty much like Splitgate 1, but with a few added bonuses. We still have the jetpack, feels very similar, maybe a little
I got
snappier
the
than the
slider
first
mechanic.
one. Movement very similar, gunplay very similar. But one of the biggest things we've added in Splitgate 2 is our slide mechanic. This was something that we had a lot.
Pause it right there. Do not click away from the video. What if they added a game mode where it's wall running? It's Titanfall 3, baby. But without the Titans, of course.
A request in Splitgate 1. And ultimately, I think we ended up with a great slide that really honestly highlights and adds to our
the
portal
gun
mechanic.
inspect,
Being
or
able
the gun
to
thing looks
slide
fire.
through portals, gain momentum, maintain momentum, all the things that you would want. It just goes hand in hand. So power
clean.
weapons are back
That was
and
clean.
better than ever. We've now revealed the big friendly bat, and it is friendly. Very, very true to the first
Big
game,
friendly
and
bat.
we know
That is
fans
not
love
what
the
it was called
BFB.
late
We've
last
also got weapons like the rocket launcher, but trying to kind of take it to the next level, and so with the rocket this time around, it's a little bit different. You can zoom in with the rocket to fire one precision rocket with extra speed. It
That
has less
icon
splash
literally looks
radius,
like
you gotta
Halo,
get a
bruh.
direct impact to
I'm
get a
not
kill.
complaining.
Or you can fire all three at the same time. You'll get the free kill.
All three
You
at
do
the
have
same
that trade-off
time.
though of losing all the ammo. And so for us, it's about iterating on what we do well, bringing back fan favorites, and then also some new
That
power weapons
sniper
that do
looks
function
fire.
totally different than anything we ever had in Splitgate
Like,
1.
Like
Again,
to me,
we wanted meaningful variety.
to me, the sniper looks like it fits in Splitgate, but it doesn't. Looks like it fits in Splitgate. Because if y'all don't know Sabrask, I'm pretty sure that the sniper was made by the people in Sabrask. And the people in Sabrask, you know, they live in Mars with lack of material. Their material is basically like old Earth, basically. Or at least that's what it looks like to me, in my opinion. So they probably made that sniper and it got, you know, into the Splitgate 2 universe. So that's why it looks like it's in Splitgate 2, kind of, but it also looks pretty old, like it's from Call of Duty, because of Sabrask.
With a purpose. And so that extends not just to the core gameplay, but it
Well, that's
extends
just
to our
my
mode
theory.
design as
I don't
well.
know.
That means the type
I
of
haven't looked
modes we
into it
have, each of which is going to give you a very different experience. You might have Hot Zone, you might have TDM, you'll have some fan favorites from the first game, you'll have brand new things on a larger scale than ever. I'd say within each mode, we always start with design goals. And so with Hot Zone in particular, one of our big goals was more epic moments. Because of that capturability of round-based first to two hills, it raises the stakes of every single hill cap. You'll end up with those neck-and-neck fights where a power weapon or a headshot could be the difference between winning and losing the round. Comparing it to King of the Hill, where it's more of a continuous thing for 10 minutes where one team is just inching further and further away, you don't have those repeated epic moments. And this extends also to our overtime rules. One of the things we've introduced in overtime is when it's round 5 and teams are neck and neck, it's 2-2, we
And
flip
it
the
makes
rules
them
on its
sick.
head and all of a sudden respawns are disabled. This kind of leads to that epic ending. You've got two evenly matched teams going at it and it all comes down to that final round, raising the stakes, raising the intensity. One of our
That is
company
fire.
values is feedback as a gift, and we apply this in many ways. So part of it is obviously internally. We want to always be pushing each other, elevating each other, but it also extends to how we run this company and how we view our community, which is we want feedback from the fans. That's how we're going to make a great game.
Yeah, that's very
we're making
important.
this
A lot
game
of games
ultimately
like
for
that,
you.
of
Without
value.
you, there is no game, and so
That is
we
true.
want to hear from you guys. We want to know, what do you want us to keep doing? What do you want us to change? What's not working, what's fun, what feels good, and what's missing. And so it's really as simple as that. We
Hey,
view
macro.
everything we hear from you, even if you're bashing us, like we take it as a gift and we do something about it. Summer Alpha of Splitgate 2 was really an
my boy,
opportunity
it's
for us
Timmy.
to listen to the fans and get early feedback. We were able to get 100+
Hey,
thousand
we got,
players into the alpha, get tons of
Mr.
feedback
Juice?
from all of you,
Oh, wait, no, Mr.
and
Free,
already
Mr.
we've
Free.
made a lot of great improvements.
Yeah, feedback
no
is what
way.
got us here. I mean, all the learnings that we went through with Splitgate, all the stuff that got us where we are today, it's the community. So we want to hear from you guys. We want to make a game for you guys. And yeah, that's what we're here for.
Yes,
The changes
sir.
we made since the Summer Alpha, one of the main things was taking away shared progression from Hot Zone.
And we kind of knew going into it, this is
I
going to
never knew
be a
about this part.
potentially controversial change.
wasn't
I
paying
wanted to
attention
test
to
the
that.
controversial changes because those are the things we especially need feedback on now more than ever.
Also made a lot of changes to balancing. We increased time to kill.
We knew that the Splitgate 1 time to kill felt good, but we wanted to push the limits and see, hey, if we change it up a little bit, how does it feel? So we shortened it in the alpha, heard the feedback, players wanted it longer again. And so that's what we did. It
Yeah,
virtually
I
is
like when
exactly
the
the
alpha's
same as
longer.
Splitgate 1's time to kill now.
And we also changed the way that factions perform as well. We saw that everyone gravitated towards Eros. Everyone loved Eros. Everyone thought Eros was OP.
And so we've made some changes to try to buff the other factions and nerf
Yeah,
Eros
that's
a little
good.
bit. We heard feedback about players wanting to be able to sprint while reloading, which is something you could do in the first game. We've added this, and we've actually taken it a step further to add the ability to slide while reloading, which feels so good. A lot of feedback about maps lacking portal walls and portal jumps in particular. So we've already done a lot to address that. We've added portal walls to all of the alpha maps,
Yes,
and with
sir.
a number of the maps going forward, we've added more portal jumps.
On the floor, that's gonna
So
go
I'd say
crazy.
the biggest thing that these changes allow for is
Smart.
just more freedom to have fun, to do what you want to do. And so with Splitgate 2, we really wanted things to be as responsive as possible. This started as a college dorm project. There's just a lot that we've learned over the years of like, how can we do this better? What did we do wrong? Whether it's technically, whether it's just building things in a scalable way, whether
Man,
it's
this looks
making
so
maps that are
bad.
better, visuals that are better. We just felt like if we're gonna keep iterating on this thing
looks
that
pretty
really started
decent.
off as an
It's like
indie
Game
school
Boy.
project, we're never gonna get to where we wanna be. This really is a love
Now
letter to
this
Splitgate 1 and truly
looks
wouldn't be here
amazing.
without you guys.
This was a lot of fun for us to
Splitgate 2.
share what's been in our heads for a long time, and we've been, keeping it secret for a few years, and now we're able to
Yeah.
share it with you guys, and we want to hear from you.
Head over to our Discord, follow us on Twitter, social media, Reddit.
got that.
We really
Yeah.
read this stuff. We appreciate all the feedback, all the comments. And let us know if you want more of this. I mean, if you guys like
Yeah.
this format, we're gonna keep doing it. And if you don't, we'll
Please.
adjust, just as the case with everything we do. So thank you
Yes,
guys for tuning in.
Thank
Thank
you.
you for making this. Splitgate 2 coming 2025. I can't wait to play it during the New Year's, I'm going to be so ready. It's going to be available on the PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Xbox Series XS, Steam. What did y'all think about it? I thought it was absolutely amazing. Tell me in the comments down below what you thought. Splitgate 2 is looking to be very promising, and I really, really, really do hope that this succeed. Because as you can tell by their faces, they have a lot of pressure on their hands, because if this fails, everything is over, man. I mean, probably not everything is over. They might have a backup plan, but I am like praying, hoping that Splitgate 2 succeeds. Make sure to subscribe, like, guys, and I'll see y'all on the next video.